If you enjoy podcasts like this, you should check out our other shows on Health Podcast Network. For example, Medicine in America, hosted by Anthony Manson and Todd Harrington, shares the stories of physicians, other healthcare professionals, and industry leaders who are changing the way we deliver care. There's an episode that you should check out called Primary Care Reimagined with Subscription-Based Preventative Care Model. It's an inspiring call for a paradigm shift in primary care. All of their episodes highlight innovative ideas at the forefront of the movement to transform our healthcare system. Check out Medicine in America on your favorite podcast platform or visit healthpodcastnetwork.com.
Have you been thinking about transitioning into a non-clinical leadership role? Maybe this line of thinking always ends up with you feeling overwhelmed or confused or even frustrated because you're not sure which path to take. You're not sure which role is right for you. Well, you have to decide. Is it going to be the path of staying on the hamster wheel of decision-making? Or are you going to finally take the first step to securing your future with the next best role? Well, I'm here to help you with my 90-day transition plan. To learn more, schedule your career transition breakthrough call at www.schedulewithdrlisa.com. That's www.schedulewithdrlisa.com. Hey there, leading ladies. Welcome to the Women Physicians Lead podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Lisa Herbert, a two-time best-selling author, speaker, family physician, and executive leadership coach with over 20 years experience of providing primary care and serving as a healthcare leader. If you are a woman physician ready to make a change in your career and have a seat at the leadership table, then you are in the right place. I'm excited to provide you with the crucial skills you need to be a successful leader and strategies to deal with workplace challenges. So put on your headphones and listen as we explore the new world of building women physician leaders. Welcome back to another episode of the Women Physicians Lead podcast, the podcast dedicated to empowering women physician leaders. I'm your host, Dr. Lisa, and today I'm excited to share a success story that I hope will inspire you on your leadership journey. In this episode, I'll take you through the transformational journey of one of my clients, a medical director who aspired to become the top leader in her organization. She wanted to not only grow her clinic, but become a center of excellence and a model practice for her organization to follow, and also to be a respected leader. We worked together on effective communication, influencing her team, establishing a strong leadership presence and vision, and mastering conflict management. By the end of our time together, she achieved her goal and became a top leader, making a significant impact in her organization. So earlier on in previous episodes, we talked about how the transition to leadership can be challenging. Transitioning from clinical practice to a leadership role is overwhelming a lot of times for physicians. It requires a significant shift in mindset, skill set, and responsibilities. In episode 55, we defined transition and what that looked like, and explored the emotional and mental aspects of transitioning from clinical medicine to leadership. Then in episode 57, we talked about the importance of self-reflection and self-discovery. That's getting to know you, getting to know who you are, getting to know and be comfortable with what your values are, developing what your vision is. So all of those things are important when you're thinking about transitioning into a leadership role. So while clinical practice requires medical expertise, patient care, and attention to detail, being in a leadership role requires a different set of skills and responsibilities. In a leadership role, physicians must be able to communicate effectively, delegate tasks, make strategic decisions, and manage people and resources. You must have a vision for your team and your organization. and be able to motivate others to work towards that vision. In contrast, in clinical practice, we primarily focus on diagnosing and treating patients' medical conditions with less emphasis on leadership and management. So, understanding the fundamental differences between clinical practice and leadership is crucial for physicians transitioning to a leadership role. And by recognizing the different skill sets, responsibilities, mindset, and level of accountability that's required for leadership roles, physicians can then prepare themselves for a successful transition and thrive in their new roles as leaders. And that's why I really developed my PEAC program. That's PEAC, Physician Executive Accelerator program, where I take you from having a clinical mindset and being unsure about how to show up as a leader and what your role as a leader entails, to leading confidently and making an impact as a respected voice in healthcare. So if you want to learn more about the PEAC program, then I would encourage you to schedule a discovery call with me at www.schedulewithdrlisa.com. That's www.schedulewithdrlisa.com. So with my client, we decided to focus on communication, how to influence others, conflict management, leadership presence, and vision. So let's start with effective communication. So effective communication was one of the things that we decided to work on with my client that helped her to become a top leader. Communication is the cornerstone of leadership. It's, your ability to be able to be clear about what you're communicating, your ability to be able to connect with people. Communication is effective because it's how information obviously is relayed. And initially, my client had struggled with conveying her ideas clearly and persuasively. So we focused on how to hone her skills in this area by practicing active listening. So that's really how you show up in the presence of others. Are you listening to really hear people and not to respond? So active listening was one of the things that we really worked on. We worked on being clear and concise with communication. So a lot of times as doctors, we can get into this doctor speak, or we can sort of start talking, very high level. And a lot of times it's not clear to others. So we need to make sure that the information that we're relaying is clear so that everyone understands it, but also that it's concise and it really gets to the point. And we also had to work on how to tailor your message to the audience that you're speaking to, right? So that requires you really to make a shift depending on the makeup of your audience. So through some role-playing exercises and some feedback sessions, she began to learn how to communicate her vision and expectations of her team effectively, which really greatly improved her team's performance and overall morale. Next, we started to work on influencing. How do you influence your team? And we really talked about how influence is about more than just telling people what to do. Having influence is your ability to be able to inspire people to want to do it without you telling them. And also, it's about how you motivate others to follow your lead. So we developed strategies to help her to build trust with her team and rapport with her team, which involves having regularly scheduled, right? Not just sort of on the fly or when you kind of think about it, but regularly scheduled one-on-one meetings. So how often now do you take time or do you put time aside for your team members? Are you scheduling regular one-on-one meetings with them? How often are they? Are they on your calendar? Is it something that you actually take time out of your schedule to do so that you can, one, practice that active listening, but that you also have a clear idea about what some of the concerns may be with your team members, where they may need more resources, and where that you can get feedback from them and they can get feedback from you. It's also about recognizing and celebrating the achievements of your team members. It's really important for people to feel like they're being heard and for also people to feel like the work that they're putting in is being recognized. So, recognizing and celebrating the achievements of your team members is also really important when it comes to influence. And then creating an inclusive environment where everyone is valued or felt valued and heard. A lot of times you might be in a meeting and there are those who will speak up and have conversation and they will give their input. And then there are others who may just, sit in the background. They may not have much to say. And it's not that they don't have ideas to share. That just may not be comfortable for them. That may not be their style or their personality type. So it becomes important to make sure that everyone feels involved and included. So if those team members that are sort of sitting back in the cut and not really saying anything, it may be that after the meeting, you go up to them and you ask for their input, or you may say how you really, really want to hear from them, that you value their feedback. Or it might be just bringing them into the conversation at the time. So this shift in my client's approach really led to a more cohesive and motivated team. The next thing that we focused on was her leadership presence and vision. And these things are crucial as well. So being able to show up as a leader, project confidence, show up as your authentic self, whether that's in meetings or presentations or casual conversations, it's really important. So we worked on that, what it means to really be your authentic self and show up as your authentic self so that people can have a better rapport with you. We also began to craft a vision for her and for her department. So we worked on a vision statement. And that was actually a vision statement that aligned with the organization's goals. So this vision statement becomes really important because it serves as that guiding star for her and for her team. It provides direction, it provides a purpose, so that as people are doing their day-to-day tasks and as they are involved in projects, they know where that star is. They know where they have to reach. They know what the direction is and what the purpose is of the work that they're doing every day. And then the last thing that we worked on was conflict management. So conflict management or conflict resolution, even if you want to call it that, is something that's important to have a handle around because conflicts are inevitable. They happen. It's better for us to be able to understand and know how to handle them so that we can develop, again, cohesive teams that are able to work together. So we worked on developing skills around conflict management. And it came back full circle around to the active listening again, right? So when you are in conflict with someone, it becomes really important for you to sometimes to just sit back and listen, but so that that other person can be heard. It's also important to address conflict as soon as it arises. I've said this so many times before. Because the longer that you let a conflict or a situation of conflict sort of linger, there becomes layers that gets added to that conflict, and it becomes harder to break down those barriers and to break down those layers. So addressing conflict really on or early on is really, really important. We also talked about empathy, right? The ability to step into the shoes of others, which is really important, and finding common ground. Sometimes, it may not be that either person is right or that either person's view is the one that's chosen, but sometimes we have to come in the middle and find common ground on issues. So after this, she learned to address conflicts promptly and constructively, turning, what could have been a potential issue into opportunities for growth and improvement. So again, these are the 4 areas that I worked on with my client, and these are probably the more common areas, but there are so many other leadership areas and leadership skills that I work on with clients, and it really is client specific, right? For this particular client, again, it was the areas of communication, how to influence others, conflict management, and leadership presence and vision. So, through our work together, my client not only achieved her goal of becoming the top leader in her organization, but also was able to foster a more positive work environment and a more productive work environment. So, her journey is really, to me, a testament of the power of what coaching can do, and if you're willing to grow and adapt, what you can achieve. So, if you're a woman physician aspiring to reach new heights in your career, I would love to help you as well achieve your goals. I offer personalized coaching sessions that are tailored to your unique needs and challenges. So, whether you're looking to improve your communication skills or enhance your leadership presence or navigate the complexities of conflict management or wanting to show up and be able to influence others, I'm here to support you every step of the way. Are you ready to take the next step in your leadership journey? Sign up for a discovery call with me today. So during this call, we'll discuss your goals, your challenges, and how we can work together to achieve your vision. Simply visit www.scheduledwithdrlisa.com. That's www.scheduledwithdrlisa.com. Don't wait. Your path to exceptional leadership starts today. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you found this story inspiring, if you found it valuable, please subscribe to my podcast, leave me a review, and also share. Share it with someone who you think it would be helpful for. And remember, great leaders aren't born. They're made through dedication, through learning, through being adaptable, and also growing. So until next time, keep leading with courage. Have you been thinking about transitioning into a non-clinical leadership role? Maybe this line of thinking always ends up with you feeling overwhelmed or confused or even frustrated because you're not sure which path to take. You're not sure which role is right for you. Well, you have to decide. Is it going to be the path of staying on the hamster wheel of decision making? Or are you going to finally take the first step to securing your future with the next best role? Well, I'm here to help you with my 90-day transition plan. To learn more, schedule your career transition breakthrough call at www.scheduledwithdrlisa.com. That's www.scheduledwithdrlisa.com. Take care.
If you enjoyed podcasts like this, you should check out our other shows on Health Podcast Network. For example, Medicine in America, hosted by Anthony Manson and Todd Harrington, shares the stories of physicians, other healthcare professionals, and industry leaders who are changing the way we deliver care. There's an episode that you should check out called Primary Care Reimagined with Subscription-Based Preventative Care Model. It's an inspiring call for a paradigm shift in primary care. All of their episodes highlight innovative ideas at the forefront of the movement to transform our healthcare system. Check out Medicine in America on your favorite podcast platform or visit healthpodcastnetwork.com.